welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Aaliyah English. We are here at Postbrook Studios, located at the P30 co-working space, a new co-working space on the Far East side of Indianapolis, and this is Let's Meet. Let's Meet is a visual podcast that corresponds with our monthly Indy Far East magazine issue in the Let's Meet section. So you have the opportunity not only to read about who we're going to meet today, but also watch and learn. And today we have a very special guest. I would like everyone to meet Gary Naylor, the president of FrontRunner Media and CEO of the Next Generation Initiative. Thank you so much for joining us today, Gary.
And thank you for having me, Aaliyah.
So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about what you do as the president of FrontRunner Media, but also the CEO of the Next Generation Initiative. And then tell us a little bit about the differences between the two.
Great. Well, first of all, I do a lot. As we think about start with the FrontRunner Media. FrontRunner Media, we're a full-service media production company. We're located, of course, on the east side of Indianapolis in the Walker Career Center at Warren Central High School. Primarily as a full-service media production company, we offer anything from branding to marketing to video content creation, anything in that digital content marketing space that's required for an organization to be able to tell their stories, which is primarily our tagline, we tell your stories. So we tell your stories through video production and other content that we create. And that's the FrontRunner side. The Next Generation Initiative is primarily a 501c3 not-for-profit organization that's primarily focused on enabling young people in careers or to pursue careers in the media production industry. And we've been doing that here for the last 5 years.
I have the pleasure of knowing you a little bit outside of this, and I know that you are working in the media production industry today. However, that's not where you got your start. You have a long history in marketing, and now you're transitioning over to the production side of things. So tell us a little bit about that journey.
I spent most of my time in industry, meaning more corporate industry. I've been in sales and marketing roles with various organizations, but my most recent position prior to, I used the term absorbing FrontRunner. My previous roles was with Roche Diagnostic, who I was there for right at about 20 years. And during that 20-year span, I worked in sales, I worked in market research, I worked in market analysis. When I left the Roche Diagnostic, I was primarily working on the point-of-care side of business, where I was on the leadership team, driving lots of initiative, as well as leading a large sales organization within Roche. During that time, my late wife had been dealing with a medical issue for about 7 years, and I decided during that time I was going to take off from corporate to spend some time with her as she went through that transitional period. And unfortunately, a year into that time I took away from Roche, she passed away. So during that time, I was really pondering as to what did God want me to do next. And again, during that time, I had been focusing more on my career and career growth. And I believe now God wanted me to transition from that to really start working on legacy and how can I impact other young people's lives. And that's how I transition into the media production space.
I'm so glad that you brought up legacy, because with the Next Generation Initiative that is through FrontRunner, you are able to give young people an opportunity to get a chance to get jobs that they wouldn't get in the production industry until much later in life. So could you tell us a little bit about how the Next Generation Initiative fulfills that goal of yours of building that legacy?
You know, the whole process really goes back to a great friendship that I established when I first moved to Indianapolis, and that was with Dennis Jarrett. And Dennis was primarily the individual who brought the media production department into Warren Central High School. So when they started the program, they got some funding to create a grant to start a company. And through that grant process, I was able to be a part of the board of advisors, and this was while I was still working at Roche. So I was a part of the board of advisors, and I had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with young people who were going through the program. I had a lot of time, had an opportunity to mentor some of those kids. So I really saw the impact of that program. So when I was invited to be a part of that, I was very thrilled, because not only would it allow me to leave a personal legacy, but it also allows me to leave an impact or really make an impact on what was happening in young people's lives. And it's been so fulfilling since that point in time.
What would you say to someone who was interested or curious about getting involved in the production industry because you had a career before and now you are transitioning into a something completely different? So what advice would you give, and what are some things that you learned as you made that transition?
Well, the first thing I would say is, hey, have a friend like Dennis Jarrett. That's the first thing I would say, because he is such a skilled guy in that industry, and he knows so much. So all of what I've learned so far has been through his tutelage and really spending time working with him. But what I would tell someone who is looking to do something different, not just media production, but any type of career change, don't be afraid. But when you do it with vigor and intent, and make sure that's what God really wants you to do in your life. And if you do that and you put the right effort towards it, you can be successful at it.
What do you enjoy most about what you do?
Well, Aaliyah, what I enjoy most about what I do is really spending time with the kids. You know, I get an opportunity to take kids or be a part of that whole transformation from a kid stepping into our program. And a lot of kids, they step into our program, they have not a lot of knowledge about media production, nor even knowledge about what they really want to do in life. So we get the chance to really mold them. We get to coach them. We get to develop them. And what I see that transformation from someone who comes in that's like a piece of clay that is all molded and no shape. And then we get a chance to shape them and prepare them for a life that's going to provide for them and their families moving forward.
I know you have a couple of alumni who are out there. Could you talk about some of your success stories?
Yeah, we have lots of success stories. One thing we kind of hang our hats on is that we're making a real impact from a career perspective. We have over 65 kids who are currently working in industry. And it's interesting that you talk about, kids' lives with impact. Just yesterday, I received a text from a young man. His name is Drew Matchett. He spent the summer with us interning, and he's someone who came through our program, and he just started his first position as a production assistant at WTHR right here in Indianapolis. Our engineer that we now have as part of our organization comes from our Next Generation initiative. Also, we have a media production manager who came through our program who are now working in industry. So again, we have lots of young people who are working in industry. And the good thing is we don't just focus on high school students or students in high school. We give anyone who is looking for an opportunity to advance their career in media production an opportunity to come work with Next Generation Initiative and hone their skills and be prepared to be successful in the industry.
That's awesome. Well, you're preparing these youth to be successful and giving them these opportunities. What can the community do to help you help these kids because you serve predominantly kids on the Far East Side, but it's open to everyone. So what are some things that the community can do to help you reach that goal of getting young people into the production industry?
Well, two things. I mentioned the fact that we have FrontRunner, which is our for-profit media production company. And then we also have our Next Generation Initiative, which is a 501c3. And primarily since its inception, FrontRunner has been the primary supporter for the Next Generation Initiative. We've had several other organizations who's come alongside us, like the Warren Township, and I'd like to, thank Dr. Henson for all the work that he's done and the support that he's provided us over the years. And Tom Wood Automotive Group has been another. Also, Papa John's has also been another big supporter of ours over the year, and we have some other organizations that come alongside us. But what we ask communities to do is if there's individuals who are looking for careers in the media production industry, first, send them our way, because we'd love to have them a part of our program. And if organizations believe that what we're doing is really impacting the community, to get behind us and support us. We'll take the support of individuals who have that experience, who can come in and work with us with the young people. We'll take financial support. We'll take any type of support we can have to help us continue to move the needle forward through our Next Generation Initiative.
At the end of the day, how do you feel about the work that you're doing?
Well, as I said, making that transition was a little challenging, and God has blessed me along the way. I said I lost my late wife, and he's blessed me with a new wife, Dr. Gary Naylor. I have 4 wonderful kids that are doing very, very well. And then also, as I said, it's really moving from my own focus on my career to leaving a legacy. So now I get a chance to not only leave a legacy for my kids to see the things that I've done to impact others' lives, but it allows now the community to see the things that we're doing to impact young people's lives. And every day when Dennis and I talk about and reflect on the young people that have gone through our program, we both feel blessed that we've had that opportunity to really do that. So that's what's exciting to me when it comes to doing what I'm doing today.
Talk about legacy a lot, but at the end of the day, Gary, you want to be remembered as Gary Naylor blank. What is that blank?
I want to be remembered as Gary Naylor, a strong Christian man who took the opportunity to get involved in something that really, really impacted the community positively.
Speaking of positive impact, what's next for you and what's next for FrontRunner?
Right now, before I get into what's next, some of the things that we're doing now through the Next Generation Initiative, some may or may not know that through that Next Generation Initiative, we've launched the Far East magazine, which is doing very, very, very well in the community. And it's allowing us to really to do what the real intent. I can remember when Dennis first approached me about the Indy Far East magazine, he said, hey, we really need to do something to really change the narrative for the Far East side of Indianapolis. And I think the magazine is doing just that. But along with that, it's an additional avenue for us to really, teach those journalism skills to young people. So it's just another arm for us to do that. And through the Next Generation Initiative, our intent is to open it up to other educational programs that may not be specifically media production focused, but that's really going to allow young people's to get hands-on experience in a career that they want to pursue. And then with FrontRunner, we just want to continue to grow the business. I'm a firm believer that the individuals who work a part of FrontRunner, I'm responsible for making sure that their livelihood continues on a day-to-day basis. So the whole idea is to continue to grow that business so that I can continue to fulfill the mission of leaving a legacy, but also fulfill a mission that we're really allowing people to live a life as well as support and take care of their families.
Alrighty, we're gonna wrap things up here really quickly, but we've been talking a lot about what you do, but I wanna ask some hard-hitting questions about you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Holidays are coming up. What are you looking forward to on your plate?
Wow, it's interesting because the last couple of years for the holiday, especially for Thanksgiving has been more traditional, but for Christmas we've tried to do a little bit the things that are not so traditional. So I'm looking for a really, really, really nice lamb roast on the table this year.
Sounds good. Seasonal flavors, are you into them? And what are your favorites?
Yes, I am so much into seasonal flavors, more around coffee because I'm a coffee drinker. So anything that's pumpkin spice, pumpkin cream, pumpkin apple, anything that's pumpkin related.
You know who has a great coffee? 2 Cups, located here at P30, 2 Cups Cafe. Excellent coffee, definitely. You've had some?
I've had 2 Cups coffee, and she's correct. It's great coffee. I love it, and I will continue to come get coffee here at P30.
Let's keep moving on. What do you like to listen to?
Well, I'm more of a jazz guy, so when I'm not doing a lot of just lounging around, I'll put some jazz, or when I'm walking the neighborhood or something, I'll put some really soft jazz music, and it just kind of keeps me flowing. So jazz is where I like to go.
If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Wow, that's a tough question because there's a lot of people that come through our history that I love to have dinner with. I guess I would have to say, I know a lot of us say Martin Luther King, and I'd love to have dinner with Martin Luther King, but I'd also like to have dinner with one of my old professors. who had a great major impact on my life, Dr. Rice, down at Texas Southern University. He's just someone that instilled so much into me while I was in college that really prepared me to be able to do the things that I'm doing today.
Kind of like what you're doing for this next generation. Absolutely. I love that, giving back the way that things were given to you. Alrighty, last question for you. This is the toughest question. What are you watching these days? Production company, we got to talk about production. What are you watching?
You know, it's funny when I say this, you probably laugh, but I'm watching the Golden Girls. And the reason why I'm watching the Golden Girls is my wife's favorite movie. So our pastime from 10 to 11 o'clock at night is watching old episodes of the Golden Girls, and I can tell you every cliche-ish type of statement that those old ladies have said.
Well, I'm going to say this. Thank you for being a friend. All right, we'll wrap things up there. Is there anything else you want to highlight before we tell everybody goodbye?
No, I just want to thank you again for allowing me to be a part of the podcast. I know that the podcast and you and what you guys are doing is going to have continue to have a major impact on the city and the Far East side of Indianapolis. And this whole initiative around the Indy Far East magazine is something that I believe is growing legs and is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And we're very appreciative to all the folks who have jumped in to be a part of it and to support us in one way or another. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to delivering a great product.
Thank you so much, Gary. Alrighty, that's all for this episode of Let's Meet. I'm your host, Aaliyah English. Be sure to pick up your copy of the Indy Far East magazine at one of our mini drop locations, so Community East Hospital, the Rendsburg YMCA, or if you're subscribed to the Indianapolis Recorder, you will receive it as an insert. Thank you again to the folks at Post Brooks Studios and P30 Co-working Space. We'll see you guys next time.